What is up? Wow, it has been an eventful week for me. If you don't know who I am, my name is Bridger Frederick, and in this video, I'm going to hypothesize how not doing exactly what the fuck you want to do in this life is actually the most selfish act possible. If you're not doing what you want every single day, you might be extremely selfish and not even know it. You might be deluding yourself in a major way. And I'll explain my thinking on this. So, on the way, I'm living down in Florida right now. I'm from Idaho, and I came back to visit Idaho because my grandmother is kind of at the end of the road, unless she completely changes her feelings about living and makes a monumental effort to stay alive, which doesn't seem very likely. So I came here to visit her and essentially, for all intents and purposes, basically say goodbye to her. So that's been pretty heavy, but not, there's plenty to talk about there, but I'm not really going to go into that uh, right this second, just kind of explaining the context and what's on my mind, and the type of thinking that we can all imagine that invokes, that someone, facing the idea of losing someone in your life invokes a more thoughtful mindset about everything. So, anyways, I was reading a book on the way here called Dopamine Nation by Anna Lebke. And it's basically about addiction, how the lever of dopamine, the neurotransmitter inside of our brain, kind of controls our relationship with pain and pleasure, and that getting out of whack is what drives all addiction, food addiction, phone addiction, everything. And with kind of that in mind, but anyways, but the point is, I was reading that book, and in that book, it was talking about Alcoholics Anonymous has a thing talking about triggers, person, places, things, and to be aware of, what is it that, triggers your addictive behavior. And what I realized coming back to Idaho is all of the above, just this place, the persons in it, the things around, because I spent so much time using addictive behaviors to escape emotions while I lived here, it all kind of triggers that. And I was able to pretty much curb the worst of it. I did eat like absolute crap, plowed a bunch of sugar, and really messed up, just bad food in general, just chips, snacks, junk food, which I have a Princess gut, so messed my guts up a little bit, but was able to resist, all of the other things that I typically do when I'm in Idaho. Binge drinking. If I have been quit nicotine, I always go back to using nicotine or whatever other extracurricular opportunities come up. There's a chance I might indulge in them. But I didn't do any of that and was able to kind of rein it in quickly after the first couple of days because I was paying attention. I was realizing that I almost felt like traumatized coming back to Idaho. But I love this place. I love the people in it. I enjoy it. And I was like trying to pay attention. I was like, what is triggering this like massive negative, physical, mental, emotional response to a place and the people I love? And I realized what it was specifically, and what really bothers me the most about it, and what really gets to me more than anything, is that all of the people I adore the most and look up to for my life, all my friends through teenage years, all my family members, everyone here who I see enormous potential in and love immensely, more than any of them probably can ever imagine. The thing that bothers me is they've all kind of settled or resigned to these stories where they don't deserve everything that they ever wanted. They somehow believe that there's something that's happened that has made them believe they have to settle for less than everything that they ever wanted. They have found proof that life is brutal, life's hard, and you have to just get by, and that, you got to work 40 hours a week. You got to, whatever the story is, everyone's a little bit different, but I can hardly think of any examples of the hundreds of people that I've known personally and continue to know, I guess, of the people that I continue to know at least. I hardly know anyone who's doesn't feel as though when I'm hanging out with them, like they've made a massive compromise to what they ultimately want more than anything else in the world. Like, I just don't see a lot of examples of people unforgivingly, courageously living for their ultimate dream, whatever that is. And maybe I've misinterpreted the situation, but I don't think I have. And for some reason, for me, seeing people who have who I believe in more than anything in the world, my parents, all my family members, and most of my friends that I can, think of off the top of my head. Not all of them. There's definitely some that are, still rolling the dice, but for the most part, most of the people that I grew up with, and you don't have to have the same dreams as me, but whatever it is, there's a thing when you're with them where you can see that a light has died out. There is this resignation that they're not going to have everything they've ever wanted, and it just curbs the conversation and the excitement and the awesomeness of life so much when you just have to talk about surface level things and like make one-liner jokes, and it just feels so weird to me because I just can't imagine a world or a life where I don't have this beacon of hope out in front of me, this belief of whatever it is. What my dream is doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be similar to my dream. It just has to be the dream that was placed inside of you, the destiny, the calling, the whatever it was. My calling is to bring a bunch of people out into the wilderness. I want to buy a big piece of land out in the wilderness and create, a healing place of creativity and escape from the modern world that allows people to heal emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically by reconnecting with themselves and the wilderness through the use of not only, cutting edge technology, but also ancient wisdom. That's my calling. That's all I've ever wanted to do since as long as I can remember. And without that beacon, without that as the destination and the belief in that, it just, I don't, I guess I can't understand anything, and nothing seems purposeful. And that's just my beacon, but it doesn't seem like a lot of the other people that I've known in life have a beacon that they really believe in being possible. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Like I said, maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but I don't think I am. I think everyone's just kind of getting by, living day by day, and, keeping the idea of a vacation or a new house or a home improvement project in the future as, the little bastion of hope to hold on to, but it's not in the name of, self-actualization. And that's why I think it's a super selfish act to not, listen to your heart, find your beacon and pursue it, because it hurts other people around you. I can't even describe. There's nothing else in life. All of the physical pain that I'm in, mental pain that I'm in, emotional pain that I'm in from being spinal cord injured, from not being able to do the things that I love and enjoy, from being physically, struggling all of the time, and, having excruciating, sometimes sustained 8 out of 10 pain all day long, nerve pain, all of that just pales in comparison to how painful it is to watch someone you love not hit their stride, reach their potential, or at least believe that they can. When you see the death of that belief in someone that you love, where you see them settling, you feel them settling. We all know the feeling. You can't hide from it. When you're around someone that's in, even if it's like me, just delusional pursuit of a dream and a life that there's no evidence that I can have. There's so little evidence working against me. I struggle to, barely clean my house and get by. I struggle to pay my bills. I have so many physical issues and problems. It's all I can do to just maintain my physical health, let alone increase it. And, there's no evidence. I have just strings and lists of failures to do things that I set out to do. I failed again and again and again, over and over and over again. There's so much proof that I won't make it, but I don't use that as proof. I just use it as little steps, learning things to learn from, things to think about, like mistakes not to make again. But there's been times where I've internalized all that stuff and lost hope and, used things that have happened in the past as, evidence that I wasn't meant to have in the future. And that was brutal. Those are the most dark, brutal, horrific times that I've had to live through, and those times have existed before and after I was paralyzed. It's independent of the hardship that I've gone through from the car accident. This is just a human thing that happens, and most of us have a body of evidence we can draw upon for why we won't or can't have the things we want. But just know it's selfish. It's inflicting pain on the people who love you. It's cheating them out of all of the opportunities and amazingness that will come if you do succeed at whatever it is you were born to pursue. It's cheating future generations out of it. And if you have children, it is destroying them. It's so hard to, overcome the sins of the father, as it would be called, or whatever it's very hard to overcome the belief systems that your parents have about themselves and the world. If your parents, have these deep-seated beliefs that they don't deserve whatever in the world, or they don't deserve to be rich, they don't deserve that, it's just not for them, it's for someone else. It's very hard to not inherit that and to get over it, because at least for me, my parents are my heroes, and they were my entire world for at least 12, 13 years. They were the model of adulthood and what was possible in life for the formative years of my brain and mind. And it's very hard not to carry those, whatever those beliefs are, on into the world. So if you have kids and you think that sacrificing and suffering and going to a job you hate to put food on the table and make money, that might be part of it, but you might have to do that. That might be the reality. But you gotta find space in there for you. You gotta find space in there you gotta carve out the time, even if it's 45 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, whatever it is. You gotta carve out the time to get silent, to think about what that beacon is, because it can be confusing and hard to actually figure out what your purpose is if you're just going every second of every day, and just there's one thing after another and so many tasks to do, and If you're just busy all the time and, constantly working, you're never going to have the, time to reflect and really decide what that thing is. But I think at some intuitive level, we all know you just got to rewind. You just don't have to rewind at all. Just pause for a few seconds and be like, if I had all the money in the world, all the opportunity in the world, if there was no, material barriers or, mental barriers or whatever it is, if I could have the life exactly that I want right now, and you have to kind of get past, because you can be a little bit brainwashed in that. You got to go deeper and like define what you actually want. You don't want, it might be Ferraris and this giant house and flying around, like jetting around the world, living a playboy lifestyle or something like that. But likely if you dig deeper, it's probably, that might be your beacon. Who knows? That actually could be it. I'm not one to judge or say, be the decider of what's right and wrong. But it's just important to like really listen to your heart on this and see what, in that moment of silence, what if there was no barriers would your life be? And if, if it seems impossible, then you got to change that. You got to take time and level up your thinking, level up your physical ability, level up your skills, level up your knowledge, and start making it feel possible. And that starts with just delusionally believing it's possible so that you're willing to put in the effort. Think of your dream life exactly as you want it, and then just start believing it's possible, and you'll quickly, find more energy to take the time out to gain the real life, skills, physical abilities, and knowledge and connections with other people to make it into a reality. I know I'm kind of just rambling on a little bit here, and that, I don't exactly have the proof to prove that this is worth doing. I'm not at the the beacon. I don't have everything that I've ever wanted, and I can't be like, look, you can, this is proof that you can do it. It's not about that. It's actually about the journey. It really is just about enjoying life to the maximum amount, and also feeding the people around you who need it, who need it as well. You need to, I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I got multiple phone calls and they're popping down on the screen all over the place, and now I'm just a little bit distracted, but I think I said what I came here to say. Thank you so much if you made it this far into the video. I love you and hope that this was provocative to your thinking, at least got you, thinking about what exactly that beacon is for you, and is it actually selfish not to pursue? Should you sacrifice? I'm not saying that there's not sacrifices that have to be made, but should you sacrifice your dreams and your ultimate purpose in life for any reason? Is there ever a reason to sacrifice it? And I just don't think the answer is ever yes. I think it's always, you just got to make room for it, or it's going to hurt those around you immensely. Anyways, lots of love. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. If you've been following along, I haven't recorded any video. This is basically, I'm going to leave this as day 91 because I'm not counting the last 4 or 5 days. I have not been recording. I haven't had any internet. My grandparents have no internet whatsoever at their house up in the mountains of Idaho, and my parents just have basically shittier than dial-up internet somehow, some way. They have an upload speed of like 0.2 megabytes per second. Don't even know how it's possible to have internet that sucks this bad in 2024. I think they pay a decent amount for it and are just content with it, yeah, being the shittiest internet on basically the continental U.S. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow for sure. I don't know when I'll get this video actually uploaded. I'm going to attempt it now, but like I said, it's not looking promising because I'll be migrating from here to my grandparents' house and legitimately have no internet. I can't even, show them a video at their house because I don't have reception on this carrier there, and they have zero Wi-Fi, zero internet whatsoever. But anyways, I will bid you farewell, and thanks for being part of the journey. See ya.